So basically, Apple has announced plans to release a credit card. Now, Apple's already been in the business of dealing with consumer credit because they already have Apple Pay, and they've been trying to wire that into just about as many services as they can. So apparently they're releasing this credit card, which means that they will have to do a hard inquiry on your credit before they allow you to buy into it. But they're releasing a credit card which basically works just like any other credit card, and it's specifically designed so that you can have the security using Apple Pay from your iPhone, your Apple Watch, or your iPad, or whatever you use Apple Pay for. And I've been using Apple Pay a lot recently because I use it to purchase a lot of items. But the thing about it is, the one thing that could stop me from even bothering to get the Apple credit card is the fact that I use Capital One Venture, and I use that for every single purchase I can get points from, specifically so I can save up points to go on vacation. Anybody who follows me knows that next week I'm going to be leaving the United States of America, and I'm going to be going to Dubai. And I'm going to be flying on Emirates in business class with upgrades that I paid for using points from my Capital One Venture card. Not only did I use points to upgrade my seat, but I also used points to purchase my girlfriend's ticket. And she'll be joining me in Thailand. We're going to go to Bangkok and probably Pattaya if we have a chance for a day trip. Now, the thing about it is, the reason why Apple is doing this and launching a credit card, it's not really like the elitist thing that everybody wants to make it out to be. But it's the same thing that Best Buy, Sears, Walmart, and all these other stores and companies have done. They want you shopping there. If you're an Apple buyer, if you have an iPhone, iPad, Mac, MacBook, whatever, you're not cross-shopping with anything Android. You don't care about anything Android because whenever you purchase apps, those things stay on your Apple account and they can't be transferred over to Android. That's why it doesn't make sense to me when they keep comparing Android's new phones to Apple's old phones, because Samsung always launches their phone early. So you have the Galaxy 10 versus last year's iPhone, the XS Max, right? It doesn't make any sense to me. You're comparing apples and oranges. And then when Apple's A13 chip comes out in the new phone this year, they're going to blow them out of fucking water. So this credit card is designed to keep you within Apple's ecosystem. It's really that obvious. So while I might consider getting the credit card, the thing that you do have to remember is that if you do apply for a credit card for a short period of time, it actually hurts your credit. Simply because when you apply for credit cards, it puts a hard inquiry on your credit report. So for some people, especially if you're getting ready to try to buy a house or you're trying to buy a car or something, if your credit score isn't that great, like my score is over 800 at this point. That's how I was able to buy 2 properties, 1 house during Veterans Day just recently. But if you're trying to make your credit pristine so that there's no blemishes whatsoever, you're not going to want a hard inquiry on your credit. People who go into malls and they waste a lot of money, or they spend a lot of money, or they apply for a lot of credit cards, those people usually screw up their credit, and because they have so many inquiries, their credit gets dinged a couple of points. Now, at this point, I'm really not worried about my credit because, I mean, when you're over 800, it's like there's really nothing they can do to you that'll hurt your credit history if you want to apply for a credit card at a store. But what I want everybody to understand is the reason why Apple's doing this is because the price of these phones is going up, and they already know you can't afford it in many cases. So what they're doing is they're making it so when you walk into the Apple store and you try to buy, let's say you want to buy a 64 gigabyte iPhone 11, what they'll be able to do is they'll be able to say, hey, well, guess what? Even though you were going to pay $1,000 for this phone, what we want to do is we want to upsell you to the 128 gigabyte or the 256. And you'll be like, oh, well, I don't have the money for that. And they'll be like, well, fuck that. We've got the Apple credit card right here. All you got to do is sign on the dotted line. We get you this credit card. You can get this 256 gigabyte phone. And then you can come back to us next year for the 512. And then you can come back to us next year after that, and you can get the 1 terabyte. How's that sound? So ultimately what they're trying to do is they're trying to get you into the ecosystem, and once you get in, they absolutely do not want you to leave. Now, once again, the reason why I'm not sold on the Apple credit card yet is because let's say I did get it, I wouldn't be using it because I use my Capital One Venture for everything simply so I can get points that I can redeem on trips. Because as you know, you watch my channel, I've taken you, made videos, I made videos in Dubai, made videos in South Korea, made videos in the Philippines. I travel like every single year to someplace exotic that most Americans don't go. Next year, I'm thinking about even doing Maldives and Dubai, or possibly doing Australia or something. I'm really not interested in Australia or Europe, so I really don't care about those two places. But I'd rather go to like one of these exotic beach resorts like Maldives, or even like a part of Africa, like maybe Madagascar, where you have these like private beaches and everything. And my thing is, Emirates and Asiana are my favorite airlines, specifically because they fly that A380. You know I love that A380. The only way I could see getting that Apple credit card is if they're going to offer me a superior deal that I'm getting from Capital One Venture. Because the thing about it is, flying annually, especially the way I fly, is goddamn expensive. And the thing about it is, I like the points that I'm getting off of my Capital One Venture, so they'd have to offer me a hell of a lot of points to do it, but I don't think Apple's in the position to do that. Now, I could be wrong, but I really don't think that they're going to end up doing it, because if I'm going to do luxury vacations every single year, I want to have a large portion of it offset by the spending that I already do, rather than having to pay full price for anything. So this is going to be my Thailand vacation, and it's already booked and paid for, and I'll be leaving next week. Can't wait. So as far as this Apple credit card is concerned, it's obvious that what they want to do is, anybody who buys Apple products, they want to make sure that you keep buying Apple products indefinitely. They want to make sure you don't leave them ever. They don't want you leaving that ecosystem, especially for these shitty Android phones. So I have nothing against it, but time will tell whether or not I'm willing to actually buy into getting the card. Because thus far, I haven't seen any reason not to want it. But the problem is, I haven't seen any reason why I should want it. So, you know, hopefully in time they'll have special offers and stuff, just like, you know, other card carriers do. But for right now, it's like I'm on the fence. The other thing I wanted to say in this video is about the iPhone 11, which is supposed to be coming out later this year. Naturally, Apple will probably announce it somewhere around September 10th or 11th, and you won't be seeing them purchasable until about November or the end of October or something. Personally, I have the Apple XS Max 512 gigabyte, and to tell you the truth, there's really nothing that can really force me to want to upgrade, with the exception of giving me 1 terabyte of storage. Now, 1 terabyte of storage can be had right now with the Android phones, but you most likely have to buy a $450 micro SD that's being sold. And the thing about it is, it's like $450 to buy a micro SD card. It's like, that memory is not as fast as Apple's NAND flash memory. So I've never been sold on memory cards, and I never will be sold on memory cards. I like my system on chip memory. The NAND flash is way faster than the SD card flash. So you can get that right now for $450, but most people aren't using Android phones as their primary recording device, like I use my iPhone as my primary 4K recording device. So aside from more storage, I'm thoroughly happy with my Max 512 gigabyte. So I really just don't think that they're going to really show me anything this year besides a better camera, because from what I've been seeing with all these leaks, yeah, they're going to put like more cameras on the back, but honestly, I don't really care about that. The phone is fast. It has plenty of memory. I have plenty of storage, and the only thing I could really want right now is more storage, and that's basically about it. So I really don't know what I plan on getting from Apple this year. I know I will do a video about the phone when it comes out. I might consider upgrading. I'm in no need to upgrade. I don't really want anything that I've seen coming out of the Android side. I know Apple canceled the Air Power Mat, but I already have my own wireless chargers. And I can understand, again, why they canceled it, because those things get really hot. And if they were planning to make it so that they had like 30 coils in one of those things, I can't imagine how hot that thing would have gotten. It might have even burned down somebody's house. That's probably the reason why they canceled it. But other than that, that's all I wanted to talk about, because recently there really hasn't been a lot of Apple news. But as an iPhone buyer, usually I buy annually. It's like right now I'm not seeing a good reason to upgrade this year. But part of the reason why they want to push that Apple credit card is because they want people upgrading even if you don't see no reason to upgrade. And they want you to do it on your credit card and they want you to pay it back later. Personally, I mean, I have the money. I'm not worried about that. My only thing is you're going to have to give me points. And the points makes the big difference. Because when you start cashing in points, especially when you go on vacation, those points really come in handy, especially when you want upgrades to business class and you're talking about a $4,000 or $5,000 plane ticket. So that's what I really wanted to say. And that's about it. So if you have questions or comments, you can leave those down below.